Mike Joseph for Preseason Central here on the campus of Lafayette College, sitting right out in front of the Burger Varsity Football House. And today we're going to talk to some coaches, and I'm joined by the special teams coordinator here, Coach Frantz. Greg, great to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Well, let's jump right into it. Obviously, the season's going to start soon. You've had a bunch of practices under your belt. Special teams, I always talk about it. I was a special teams coordinator here when I was coaching. It's about 25 to 35% of the game, and you got to be good, you got to be active, you got to have those kids understand how important special teams are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be things that are easy to learn, but also sound. 25% or so of the game, and when you work it in practice, you got to be able to get all of those reps. The kids have to fully understand what they need to do. So you got to keep it simple, easy to learn, and let them go do what they do and go play football.
Yeah, and you got to use their skills, obviously, with the athletic ability you have. And I know JG gives you a lot of time to work those. So tell me a little bit, does he give you enough time to get everything you have to do? Because obviously you're doing kickoff return, kickoff, punt return, all the special teams from place kicking. I mean, all that stuff takes time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and we have the time. We're able to get it all done. We do a great job of installing in meetings. Then we get some walkthrough time. We do things at what we call coaching speed, where they kind of walk through it, they get to see it, and then when we get our periods in practice, we're going. We're moving, and they get to execute what they just did in the walkthrough and what they heard in the install meeting. So
and the kids obviously understand the speed and the periods that you go through, the 5-minute periods, and what periods are dedicated to special teams. Well, you mentioned it earlier, and I talked to some of the linebackers about it. I've noticed over the last 4 or 5 years, and you haven't been here that long, but the team speed has just increased incredibly. The young kids you brought in, and then the young kids you're going to have this year, the freshmen, that's where they're going to make their splash.
Oh, yeah, and speed is big. Speed is king. That's kind of what they talk about. You have to always be fast, and continuing to get faster is always a great thing.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about maybe individually. Obviously, you have Ed coming back, doing your long snapping, doing your short snapping. You're going to have a new holder this year. Sean O'Malley's not. That was a luxury for you. And you have 2 new place kickers. Obviously, having Jeff Cordenbrock here was a luxury. He made a splash. He's done some great things. But you got 2 new guys, a guy that's going to place kick for you and also kick off, and is a big competition.
Yeah, what you just said as far as competition, it's still open. They're competing, they're battling. I've been very pleased with new guys coming in and, kind of stepping up to the plate and wanting to say, hey, this is my role. And they keep going back and forth. So it's awesome to see them compete. You mentioned Sean not being here as the holder. Holder's kind of a lost position. He was a rock for us. He was phenomenal, but we got a couple guys doing a really nice job there. We've got down a nice rotation, and the kickers are comfortable with both guys. So that trust factor with them is always huge. Specialists are always a little bit picky, but having that trust factor with Rogo snapping and the holders and the kickers that are working, we got a nice operation rolling.
You say picky, I say quirky a little bit. But these kids, they obviously understand that. And I always talk about punt return and kickoff return. Those to me are very, very, obviously you got to cover kicks and stuff. But those are the first play of your offensive series. I always to push that. Guys, it's not first down through fourth down. This is the first down of our series. So if we can get something, we can pick something up, picks everybody's spirits up, creates field position. That's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. We had all-conference returner last year on kick return. We have guys stepping up, like you mentioned, that team speed. Those returner positions are huge with the speed as well. So we have a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that have really good speed and vision, and I think there's going to be some big plays in the return game.
And some healthy competition. I'm sure some freshmen are looking at, hey, Coach Frantz, I can run down, I can do this, and there's competition there too. So it's good to see you got some freshmen coming in. Thank you so much for a couple minutes. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, Mike Joseph for Preseason Central. They'll be on the field before you know it.